Were you awake at 7?
No, I was still asleep, thankfully.
There you go. What happened at 7?
Well, there's two scenarios. One, it's either a small earthquake that occurred something around about 30 kilometres east-northeast of Melbourne, so around Lilydale, or it may have been some sort of explosion, mine explosion, in the area as well. So it could be one of those two scenarios.
So you're not saying it's definitely... I think if it had been a massive explosion, we would have heard about it by now, wouldn't we?
Well, that's the thing. You have to rely on other information from you guys of whether you've heard of anything like that. So now we've seen seismic waves that have travelled in the earth, being registered on some of our seismic stations throughout Melbourne and so forth. But a lot of people have actually heard this event. They've heard a very loud crack or like a shotgun. So a lot of the energy has actually travelled in the atmosphere to them. They haven't necessarily felt it. A lot of people haven't actually felt it, but have actually heard it.
Right, and is that common with earthquakes?
For shallow earthquakes, and if they're reasonably small, you got a better efficiency of the waves travelling in the atmosphere that people can hear than them feeling.
What's more dangerous, a shallow earthquake or a very deep earthquake?
Well, if it's big, a big shallow earthquake's a lot more dangerous than a deep earthquake.
Okay.
Because the energy dissipates over distance. So the closer you are to it, the more dangerous it is.
Right, I'm confused. Don't you have a Richter... What does it measure on the Richter scale, this thing?
Yeah, that's Richter scale. That means every magnitude. This one's registering less than magnitude 2, so it's tiny.
Right, so the reason that a tiny earthquake has produced such a boom heard by people in the eastern suburbs is because it's shallow. How far under the surface was it?
Well, it's probably within the top couple kilometres.
Right, within...
couple of kilometres, 1 or 2 kilometres deep. And what's happened is the energy from that has coupled with the atmosphere, and we've created a pressure wave which has populated a very high-frequency pressure wave with respect to other ones, and they've heard this as a crack, an explosion.
Right. So there's a big one, say, a couple of years ago in Chile of 8.8. How far under the surface was it?
Well, the estimates, that was perhaps initiated maybe tens of kilometres, but it actually ruptured the Earth's surface. So it may have started maybe 20, 30 kilometres deep, but it ruptured the surface, and that's why we got the tsunami, because it ruptured the sea floor, and there was an uplift of the water there.